This is a nearly 4-year-old 2021 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid XSE non-technology package, and it has nearly 100,000 kilometers on it. And in this video, I'm gonna go over the top 3 concerns that you may or may not have with a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid after using it for this amount of time. That's right, I'm gonna talk about the interior, the exterior, the ride quality, overall driving impressions, fuel economy, the fit and finish, and a few more topics, so make sure you stick around. Now, before I get started, let's talk about the amazing resale value of these Toyota RAV4 hybrids. Guys, brand new in 2021, this RAV4 XSE non-technology package had a Canadian MSRP of $39,340 plus your destination transportation fees and taxes. And right now, if you go on Google and search for a used 4-year-old 2021 RAV4 Hybrid XSE, it doesn't even have to be the XSE, it could be any other model, it could be an XLE, you will see the pricing is incredibly close to that from when it was brand new, making this a very impressive value proposition, especially when it comes to depreciation and resale value. All right, before I hop on those top 3 concerns you might have with something from 2021 being this RAV4 Hybrid XSE non-tech, let's talk about the exterior fit and finish and the quality of the paint. For example, I'm very impressed. The piano black has sometimes been frowned upon by customers and viewers because, you know, it was thought that it would chip easy, that you would see a lot of imperfections. But I gotta tell you, for a Canada or a Canadian driven RAV4, the quality and the finish is still intact, very much so, on all of the piano black accents and trim, including these high polished piano black 18-inch XSE alloy wheels. So the concern is not really there and not really justified in my opinion, because this piano black is holding up very well. Toyota hasn't skipped any quality when it comes to these trim accents on the Toyota RAV4. Now, anytime that I do anything hybrid related on my channel, I always get at least one comment that has something to do with the battery life, and I'm talking about the high voltage hybrid battery, not the 12-volt battery that powers your interior lights and accessories. I'm talking about the battery that powers your hybrid Synergy drive in this Toyota RAV4. Comments like, oh, you're gonna need to replace that battery replacement is costly, it's extensive, it's expensive. Well, that is true, but what is not true is the battery life consensus that you might have on the Toyota RAV4. I'm gonna hop in the interior in a second and just show you what the battery life is with nearly 100,000 kilometers. And guys, if you didn't already know, Toyota gives you nearly a 10-year warranty on the hybrid battery and related components, at least for us here in Canada. So Toyota's got your back here, but really they don't even need to. Let's hop in and check out what the battery life is like after 4 years of use. Now, hold for just a second. Now that I hopped on the interior of this 21 RAV4 Hybrid, I actually want to tell you about an upgrade that you can get for the interior of your Toyota RAV4 non-hybrid. You know, in case you're wondering and watching this video, speculating and reviewing if a Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is for you, you might be driving a Toyota RAV4 non-hybrid. And if you are going to be eligible to upgrade your interior with a set of custom fitting all-weather floor mats from Last Fit, which will fit the interior of any current generation non-hybrid Toyota RAV4. They are far more superior than your OEM mats, covering a larger area with tighter corners and higher edges, giving you more protection, and they are made from a premium TPE material, which combines the properties from both plastic and rubber, so you get the best of both worlds and you don't get any offensive smelly odors like you might get from any other aftermarket all-weather rubber floor mats, and they come in a very neat compact packaging, making it easy to uninstall and install and very easy to clean. So if you want further protection for the interior of your Toyota RAV4 non-hybrid, especially over that middle row hump that we have in the back of the current generation RAV4, make sure you check out Last Fit for your set of all-weather floor mats. I'll leave a link in the description below. All right, so currently the Toyota RAV4 that I'm in has been sitting for some time and it hasn't really been driven. So the battery life on that high voltage battery is a little bit low. It's actually less than 0.5%, which means if I wanted to drive it in EV mode, it actually wouldn't let me. If you see there, EV mode unavailable, hybrid battery is low. Well, that's not a problem. That is an easy fix. Let me tell you what I mean. As I've said this in so many of my hybrid Toyota videos, that it's incredibly important to use your Toyota hybrid vehicle and having it sit for long periods of time. And long could mean a week, but it can also mean 1 to 2 days. And having it sit in drastically hot temperatures or drastically cold temperatures isn't all that good for your hybrid high voltage battery later down the road. Now, that's not the case for this one here. I can easily get the battery level up close to 100% charge, which I'll show you in just a second. And that's mainly due to driving and using your hybrid Toyota RAV4 or any other hybrid vehicle. Let's take a look. All right, so you'll see here as I gradually drive the vehicle for even 5 to 10 minutes here, and as I regeneratively brake, that's a hard word to say correctly the first time, but as I use regenerative braking, it is sending power back to that high voltage hybrid battery and in turn charging it, making it much more fuel efficient and smoother in terms of the transition from non-hybrid to hybrid. Now everyone, if you want a further explanation of how the Toyota hybrid powertrain system works, whether it's the THS hybrid powertrain system, the Synergy drive, and you want to know how to maximize efficiency, performance, and longevity, I'm going to leave a link in the description below where you can get yourself a copy of a 50-page hybrid guide ebook. Let's take a quick look at the interior fit and finish after 4 years and nearly 100,000 kilometers of use. These are Softex interior seats, not leather. It's Toyota's version of a synthetic leather, but I mean, guys, it's still intact. There's no major creases or crinkles or anything that I would be concerned about, so I am very pleased with the fit and finish of this RAV4 hybrid. Even this leather-wrapped heated steering wheel that has been used for nearly 100,000 kilometers is still in pretty good shape. And the back seats are no different, still in perfect tip-top shape, definitely built to last. Now, I'm not gonna lie, white usually attracts rust very easily, especially here in Canada. We have very harsh and long winters, and what usually causes that is rail dust. And if you don't know what rail dust is, this is a photo of it, and it starts off with just tiny pits of orange. And if it's not taken out or treated, that will eventually turn into rust. And it does usually happen towards the back of the SUVs. You can see here, you have a little bit of it right there, but that hasn't translated to rust just yet. And really, there is no signs anywhere of any type of corrosion that I can tell, especially around the wheel wells and other trims and panels. This RAV4 hybrid is holding up very well, even when you're talking about the suspension components here. I mean, they're a little bit dirty, but still in great shape and great condition. So really no issue in terms of reliability, in terms of maintenance, specifically on that hybrid high voltage battery that some viewers are a little bit skeptical about. No issues on exterior or interior fit, finish, wear, and tear, let's take this 4-year-old RAV4 Hybrid for a quick test drive to see if we spot anything out of the ordinary. All right, everyone, I'm going to take this lovely RAV4 Hybrid on a quick test drive just to see how it feels, handles, how the suspension is. It's a sport-tuned suspension, so let's see how sharp it still is, and let's see how that hybrid powertrain system reacts and works as it should. So I'm just hopping onto a main road here, which gets me up to around 60 kilometers an hour, which is enough to get a good feel out of this RAV4 Hybrid. And what I want to see here is the responsiveness on acceleration, which is still very good, very responsive. And I want to see if that hybrid powertrain system still works as it should, which when you're cruising or not heavily accelerating, it should be in the eco mode, which is the hybrid mode, meaning it's not using the combustion engine. And when you're coasting and braking, it is regeneratively braking and sending power back to that hybrid high voltage battery. And so far, it looks like it's doing all of that without any issues. And actually, as I mentioned earlier, just from simply driving and using this RAV4 Hybrid for just a few minutes, you can see how regenerative braking is taking action and boosting that hybrid high voltage battery level up to nearly 100%, which is very impressive for any vehicle with 100,000 kilometers, especially a hybrid one. All right, so one of the reasons why you might feel that your 2021 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid has failed you in any way, shape, or form does have to do with one item like the tech. So for example, this model does not have any wireless charger, which currently in the 2025, it would have a wireless phone charger. Another point is that you have older USB ports here, which aren't really compatible with the later model cell phones. In the front and in the back, you do have the older style USB. So if you have a newer phone, you might need something like an adapter to connect. And you definitely will need to connect because this is the older multimedia. It does not have the wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto, and cloud-based navigation. In order to have Apple CarPlay, you do need to connect via a USB, which is quite dated, but keep in mind, it's from 2021, so it's to be expected. Another avenue where you might feel your 2021 Toyota RAV4 Hybrid is due for an upgrade could have to do with your safety sense and equipment. So the 2021 did have the Toyota Safety Sense 2.0. It did not have the 2.5, and currently the 2026 RAV4 Hybrid is going to have Toyota Safety Sense 4.0. But we still have other safety features standard with this RAV4 Hybrid, like lane trace assist, parking assist, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, but you are losing some features to Toyota Safety Sense 2.5 that you don't currently have. If you guys want to know what exactly is missing from Toyota Safety Sense 2.0 to 2.5, I'll break it down in the description, where you can also check out the link for the ebook and for the last fit all-weather floor mats. Another avenue that you might feel a little bit left out with your 21 RAV4 Hybrid and maybe due for an upgrade is just in general on the tech side of things. For example, there is no rear tailgate kick sensor from 2021. That's a feature that came out later, although you do have a digital display rear view mirror standard with this 21 RAV4 Hybrid XSE, but you do have smaller screens with less of an HD effect. Right now, the later Toyota models have the optically bonded glass, making for a super high resolution. And currently, yeah, the screens are a bit small. It is 4 years old. You've got a 7-inch multi-information display system and an 8-inch multimedia system, where right now on the 2026s, for example, you can get all the way up to 12-inch plus in terms of screen sizes on the interior of your RAV4 Hybrid. Well, I'm not sure what you were looking to find in this video. I'm not sure if you're happy or not with the results. Unfortunately, I wasn't really able to find any real problems with the RAV4 Hybrid after 4 years of use and nearly 100,000 kilometers. There is some criteria that may not meet your standards in today's tech world, which is where the bulk of the problem starts to come in. But that's the case for any 4-year-old or 5-year-old vehicle, whether it's a RAV4 or something else. The technology advancements, safety equipment advances so fast that, and unless you have a vehicle that's 1 to 2 years old, it's already outdated in my opinion. But the new RAV4, the 2026, will have the Arene software, which has a lot of built-in tech and over-the-air updates. Self-learning, has some AI built into it. It can diagnose over the air. Really cool stuff. Let's see what the 2026 RAV4 brings to the market. It might solve these 3 problems for you 3, 4, and 5 years down the road. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video and this review on this 4-year-old 21 RAV4 Hybrid XSE non-technology package. We'll catch you guys on the next video. Take care.